From Claire tossing Frank's feelings to the side like yesterday's trash, to Roger wanting Brianna to be a virgin till they got married. Here are some of the unpopular opinions fans have about Outlander, starting with how some fans think Claire and Jamie are troublemakers. It goes without saying that all stories need a healthy dose of conflict and misadventure to keep the viewers engaged. But some Outlander readers have complained that they're tired of the series' central characters, Claire and Jamie, getting into trouble at every turn. Like one fan fumingly wrote that the whole Claire or Jamie is in trouble because they rubbed this randos the wrong way plot device is honestly starting to wear pretty thin. They're sick and tired of constantly worrying about their lives and safety. You and me both, pal. Another wrote that while Jamie and Claire are icons of real love and whatnot, they are sickly unlucky for one another and just take turns causing difficulty for the other, regardless of it being unintentional. Ain't that true? One fan almost took a jab at the pair, saying that even though Claire and Jamie keep saying that what they want is a simple, content life, they keep getting into these crazy adventures looking for trouble when all they have to do is lay low and be happy. Whereas other posters said they were tired of Claire running off and getting herself into trouble, with one of them saying that even though it's necessary to get to certain plot points, it's started to get a bit predictable at this point. It's honestly tough to disagree, but if that were the case, we probably wouldn't be able to enjoy any TV shows or books for that matter. But it's not just sweet Claire's troublemaking habits that have some fans in a twist. You see, according to them, she has zero emotional intelligence. Even though Jamie Fraser's much-loved Sassenach might be outstanding in many ways, it seems that a lot of fans are really frustrated with the character because they find her to be too stubborn. They claim that she has a habit of interfering in other people's affairs, especially when she doesn't even belong in their time. Well, I can't say I disagree with them. According to one fan, Claire's attitude toward 18th century social norms demonstrates a lack of emotional intelligence.
Your selfishness has brought so much to so many. Without you, our whole world crumbles into dust.
And while it's important to rebel against social and cultural structures that are archaic and harsh, it is also crucial to have an understanding of the system, especially considering that this is a society that existed 200 years before Claire's own time. I love how Claire is like the main character of the show, but most of these fans have a problem with her, because aside from lacking emotional intelligence, they also hate how bossy she is. That's kind of true. According to one fan, even though Claire is portrayed as a radical feminist, she goes too far when all she does is dominate and expect everyone to always follow her lead. And in season 2, she also wrongfully blames Jamie for her miscarriage, when she could have shown more responsibility by taking care of herself while she was pregnant. Someone else said they didn't like how Claire sticks her nose into everyone's business. Not gonna lie, she kinda does have a bad habit of doing that. In another tirade against the show's main character, one fan wrote that whenever Claire speaks, she feels this deep, burning, searing hot rage of emotion.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Whoa, that's a bit too much. This fan's very controversial view is that Claire only wants to control weak people, and even though she doesn't fit in with the culture of 200 years ago, she tries to make herself look like she knows everything. Another unpopular fan opinion is actually about a character who was considered a fan favorite, but others think Roger Mackenzie is cringe. Now, none of the fans have any problems with Richard Rankin, the actor who plays Roger. They actually think he's a brilliant actor. But they claimed that the writing for Roger did no one any favors, while others went as far as to call him a misogynistic a-hole for his attitude toward Brianna. One of them said their friends love Roger Mackenzie and find him so romantic, but the fan on the other hand hates him. And the fact that he wanted Brianna to be a virgin and has to marry him before having sex.
If all I wanted was to have my way with you, I would have had you on your back a dozen times last summer.
How basically he wants to control her, which is so not cool. Yikes. Roger, my man, what are you doing? But the comments didn't end there. Someone else called him condescending toward Bree, bringing up the fact that he almost left her and the baby when he learned she had been assaulted and abused. Plus, he had even implied that she had questionable morals when she didn't accept his proposal openly, as well as the fact that he hesitated to come back to her after he found out about her pregnancy. It's clear from all of this that Roger's behavior didn't grant him any favors with a big chunk of the viewers who watched the show. That's quite the dirty load he's carrying around. I'm pretty sure you won't be surprised to know this next unpopular opinion is about none other than Claire, but this time it's about her unacceptable treatment of Frank. Even though Jamie and Claire are loved, and Frank was always seen as the person who ruined the perfect love story, many fans who call themselves Team Frank think that the protagonist was unfair to Frank. They believe that Frank didn't deserve to be treated in the way that he was, especially after accepting Claire's odd story about how she vanished, and was even a willing and loving father to Brianna. Their marriage was a complete failure because Claire became emotionally distant from him and refused to return his obvious passion. And according to one particular point of view, Frank was a victim of circumstances through no fault of his own, and he deserved better than what he got. Honestly, it's true. Regardless of Claire losing her feelings for Frank, she should have still treated him better instead of throwing him to the side like trash. Now, you'd think, being the daughter of the main characters on the show, Brianna would at least try to bring the same energy as her on-screen parents, right? Well, turns out, fans think that she's overall pretty boring. I kid you not when I say that fans have used words like unlikable, unbelievable, and boring when it came to describing Brianna's personality. And they weren't just critical of the character. Oh no, fans even criticized actress Sophie Skelton's performance as Brianna. This one person mentioned that she has a monotonous way of delivering her lines. It's not at all convincing enough that she's actually becoming Brianna. Rather, it just seems like she's just reading from a script. Meanwhile, another commented that all of her efforts are going into saying her lines with the accent, but the result is that she's missing the necessary tones and inflections to properly convey her emotions, which are a pretty important part of this story. Can't argue with that now, can I? I don't know why this last one on the list is an unpopular one, because once you hear it, you'll agree with me that it should be a really popular one, and it's the fact that the show has an excessive amount of assault and abuse. At this point, the fans really want the showrunners to stop the overload of assaults and abuse that happens on the show. There has been one instance of it in literally every season, like Black Jack Randall abusing Jamie and Fergus in seasons 1 and 2, Mary Hawkins being assaulted in season 2, and Galis Duncan forcing herself on young Ian in season 3. I mean, even Brianna was attacked in season 4. The fans think that this was quite unnecessary and could have been left out. Well, those were all the unpopular opinions that fans have about Outlander.
You are going to die. To hang by the neck until you're dead. And if it makes dying easier for you, to know there's something of you left on this earth, then you're welcome to the knowledge.